Welcome to the wonderful game of life. Today, I'm going to teach you how to play the game of relationships, and more specifically, how to actually choose the people that choose you so that you can finally enjoy loving, lasting, healthy, and fulfilling relationships that you are always destined to have. Maybe many of you are like me and you can really relate to this topic of choosing the people that don't always choose to be around you, whether that's friendships, whether that's relationships, whether that's even family members. Throughout your life, you've probably done quite a lot for people, especially the people that you love. You've had these relationships where you've always been the one to give it your all, give the love that maybe you weren't even getting back in return. And you wonder to yourself, why do I keep finding myself in relationships that I really want to have, but perhaps aren't really serving me? And in your dating life, you're probably the kind of person that goes after these very attractive, very cool and independent and suave individuals, for lack of a better word. These people that you are highly attracted to, but just never seem to give you the time of day. And the whole thing feels extremely forced, like you are the only one that's putting in effort to either maintaining or acquiring this relationship. And maybe there's people out there that you know really like you and are really attracted to you, but just for some reason that you can't quite put your finger on, you just aren't attracted to these people. They feel safe, they feel boring, and they just don't give you that sense of excitement or that sense of attraction that the hot, independent and suave people do. And so despite these people having a high level of interest in you, you tend to push them away. You tend to feel a little bit weirded out by those kind of people. And as a result, you end up pushing away these relationships that really want to be in your life, that really want to give you the love that you deserve. So the big question of today becomes, why don't you just choose the option that's going to make you happy? Why do we chase the people who don't choose us? The answer might be a bit of a sting. I'm not going to lie. And I really hope that today, watching this video, you're at the place where you are finally ready to choose happiness. Because if you are, you might be willing to listen to this message and take it on full-heartedly, because it's something that's very deep down inside of you and deep down inside of me. You choose the people who don't choose you because you don't choose yourself. AKA, you don't love or respect yourself, at least as much as you probably should be. And this all finally clicked in my brain when I heard Game God Goldie. You heard me right. Game God Goldie himself, right? He said this in an interview recently, and it's something that I've known in the back of my mind, but he put it so eloquently and so beautifully. And he said, choosing people who don't choose you is an act of self-hate. I'll let that bomb just kind of drop for a second. I'll let that sink in, because when it sunk in for me, I just sat with myself and I thought, damn, man is right. Only somebody who really doesn't want themselves to be happy, only somebody who actually doesn't really care much about their own emotional health and their feelings and their success and happiness in life, only somebody like that would choose people that actively don't give them the time of day. Only people who don't believe at a fundamental level that they are worthy of respect, love, and kindness would ever even entertain people like that, would ever even consider embarking on this chase of a relationship where you are forever the pursuer, forever the admirer, and this person just either gives you scraps or nothing at all. It's because you don't love yourself. That, my friend, is suggesting to me that there is some deep down inner turmoil or inner conflict that you need to resolve, and you need to prioritize resolving that issue before you allow it to ruin any of your potential healthy relationships with people that actually want to be in your life. And that's why right now I'm encouraging you to go a little bit deeper into yourself. Take a step back and ask yourself, what are the childhood wounds? What are the things that had happened to me in my past that made me believe that I am not worthy of love or respect? Because the sad truth is that so many well-meaning adults, well-meaning parents will be in a bad mood. It must be incredibly hard having kids. This is no disrespect to the parents out there, but we all know that most parents are tired, usually underslept, usually stressed with finances. And when this parent is out with little Sally or little Johnny at the supermarkets and they're having a terrible day considering the fact that they may lose their job or how are they going to get through the month, and little Johnny over here, aka little you, wants a chocolate and a sweet and he doesn't understand why that's a big deal. And so when little you asks your mom or your dad, hey, can I have a sweet today? Usually in a very immature way because you're a child. Mom and dad, who've been stressing out the entire day about putting food on the table, just automatically lash out and say, why are you so selfish? Why every time when we go out, do you always need to buy the most expensive toy, the most expensive chocolates? For once in your life, can you not think about yourself and leave me alone? Keep quiet. And even though to the parent, this doesn't seem like an affront. This seems like instilling discipline. But that's not what little Johnny hears. And that's not what you heard. What you heard as a child was, I'm not good enough, I'm selfish, and I don't deserve this chocolate. And therefore, inherently, I must be a bad person. You fear for your safety because this person, this adult, this parent of yours is responsible for keeping you alive. And so what does somebody do when they are trying to stay alive? They find a coping strategy. They find a way to ensure their survival. And that could come in the form of many different behaviors. One of the biggest being people pleasing. How can I be quiet? How can I be funny? How can I make my parent love me enough so that they continue to feed me and continue to sustain me so that I can survive in this world? And so you will start to be sweeter. You'll start to ignore all of the needs and the desires that you have in order to make this parent of yours happy. I need to make my parents laugh. I need to be the joy in their lives. I need to sacrifice my own needs in order to make somebody else happy. And this, my friend, is usually 90% of the time the reason you are choosing people that are not choosing you. You are more likely than not trying to resolve old patterns, old wounds, old traumas from your childhood in the relationships that you have today as an adult. Because the sad truth is that humans do not choose what is good for them. We choose what we know, what is familiar. So a good starting question is to actually ask yourself, who am I subconsciously trying to prove wrong or to prove right? Am I trying to prove my worth to dad, to mom, to Aunt Sally, to my brothers and sisters? Who am I trying to resolve an issue with in this current relationship that is making me seek out these type of people, these people that do not give me the love that I truly deserve at a fundamental level and that I don't believe I deserve at a fundamental level? Just this simple act of awareness of the problem, awareness of these past wounds that you might have suffered, it's the awareness alone that will start to allow change to actually happen, because you'll start to notice the patterns of you continuously being driven towards these people that don't love you, that don't choose you, and this avoidance to the people that actually do, because they are uncomfortable, they aren't familiar, and they do not give you the opportunity to resolve these childhood issues. And that's why you don't want people who want you. Because you believe that if this person sees value in me, if they love me without expectation, they clearly must have something wrong upstairs. Because why would they see value in me? Why would they love me as I am when I don't even love me as I am? And so naturally, we become suspicious of these people. We feel very unsafe around them, and that's because we don't feel safe inside of ourselves. Kind of crazy, right? Because again, choosing people that don't choose you is an act of self-hate, because an act of self-hate is what you are used to. But you can't have those people that are actually going to make you happy if you don't consciously decide from this day onwards to choose your damn self above all else. So to fix this problem, you need to start consciously loving yourself, accepting yourself, putting yourself first in situations. As you start to learn how to fulfill your own needs without the need for other people to do that for you, you slowly start to undo the shackles. And to really put this into a simple perspective, you need to ask yourself the question, do I want this specific person? Or do I want happiness? Because you need to realize right now that by choosing these people who don't choose you, you are choosing consciously a life of suffering, a life of pursuing, a life of never getting your needs met. And really, don't even take my word for it, right? Look back on your own experiences. Have you ever been happy, like truly blissfully happy in these relationships with these people who make your life hard, who always expect something of you? Do you genuinely feel happy being the pursuer all the time? You probably have had sleepless nights over people. You've probably double, triple, quadruple texted people, racking your brain, wondering why they don't text you back. Why do they never allow me to feel safe? So you have to decide, do you want this person? Do you want to always be chasing people? Or do you actually want happiness? To choose people that make your life so much easier. And yes, it feels weird and it feels awkward at first, but that's something you have to become aware of too. Ask yourself, why do I feel so turned off by this attention? Why do I feel so repelled by this unconditional love? Another extremely powerful mindset shift that could really help you today is realizing the simple fact that you never ever want a relationship. You don't truly want a specific person to be in your life. What you want is a feeling. You like the feeling that they provide, this feeling of the chase, this feeling of this needing to prove your worth. That's what you're after. But it's never the specific person, because if it was, you would still be hung up on the very first person you were ever attracted to. But that's probably not the case. You've probably many times throughout your life moved on to a new object of desire, and then they inevitably break your heart. And then what do? After you've put the little pieces of your heart back together, you find somebody else to idolize and to chase, and the cycle just bloody repeats itself. So if you're with me on that line of reasoning that we are only ever searching for a feeling, why not just shortcut the process? Cut out the middleman, aka the people that aren't choosing you, and give yourself the damn feelings that you are looking for to yourself. You want validation to feel like you're enough? How about you stop asking somebody else to give that validation to you, and you give it to your damn self? You consciously tell yourself on a daily basis, I am worthy of love. You find things that you are proud of. You look into your own characteristics and you identify consciously the things that you love about yourself. You want excitement in your life? You want this thrill of the chase? Go and find it in other ways. Pick up a hobby, for goodness sakes. Go watch a movie. You, my friend, can be a self-sufficient human being. You don't need anybody to satisfy any of your needs, because you can give those desires and those needs and that satisfaction to yourself. The paradoxical truth of successful relationships is that you can't actually want it that badly. To have a healthy and flowing and effortless relationship, you need to be actually willing to let that relationship go, because those are probably the type of people you are attracted to, if you really look at it. It's the people that don't need you. It's the people that are super fine and okay with being themselves, with fulfilling their own needs. They don't need you around to be happy. And it's those people you are attracted to. And there's a reason for that. It's simply the fact that detachment equals attraction. It's the people that don't need to have a specific outcome. Those people are paradoxically the most attractive. Realize that you actually, at a fundamental level, do not need any relationship to survive or to thrive. And that by giving yourself your own needs, by being independent to your own self-care, that is when the rest of the world wants to be in your life. And these detached people actually all have a very key insight very early on in their lives. And that is the insight that at the end of the day, we are all shitty human beings, right? We're all terrible in our own ways, and nobody is worthy of being pedestalized as a god or a hero or a savior. Because just like you, everybody has anxieties. Everybody has to take a shit. Everybody has the issues, right? Everybody is selfish. Everybody's an asshole at times. And nobody is this godlike figure that never sets a foot out of line and never takes a wrong turn. We're all fucked up. And in the words of Anthony DeMello, I'm an ass, you're an ass. And when you realize that everybody in this world is flawed and shitty to some extent, the pressure gets taken off. You finally take them off the pedestal that you've had them on for so long. And you naturally stop caring so damn much about having to prove your worth to this person or having to keep them happy all the damn time, because you realize that just like you, nobody can make you happy. Nobody, no matter how amazing they are, can fulfill all of your needs. And that it's an internal job that only you can attend to, the same way that only they can attend to their own needs. And you allow these relationships with these very flawed human beings to happen and exist as they are. So, for the love of all that is good, my friend, today I ask you to please start choosing the people that choose you. But more importantly than that, start choosing yourself in every single situation. Give yourself the needs that you want. Give yourself the people that want you. And you'll start to find that slowly but surely, you will start to experience a lot more of the good feelings and a lot more self-love and appreciation for who you are and your own value in this world. And watch your life transform in miraculous ways. To choose others that choose you, learning the art of awareness is absolutely critical in your own growth and journey, because it's this art of becoming conscious to the things that you want to change that is going to help you finally get unstuck. It's going to break these patterns that you found yourself in for so many months and maybe even years. I recently made a video on awareness and how powerful it is to really start practicing it in your everyday life. And so if you're interested in learning more about this incredible life-changing skill, watch this video right now. And if all else fails, my friend, ask yourself, if life was a game, how would I play?